All right, welcome. Hello, rock stars. It's Tuesday. You know what Tuesday means, right? We get on Real Estate Rockstars. It's on Facebook, and if you're watching this on replay, you're gonna see this on replay on our good YouTube. And we spend about an hour and a half together chatting about real estate and money and success. I answer your questions. I inspire you. I beat on you if I have to. And we have a generally good time. There are always some shenanigans and colorful language. Of course, my broadcasts are always rated R. You'd be disappointed if they weren't. Tell the truth. Come on. Good to have you, everybody. Glad you're going to join us. I have my cup of coffee here. Lately, I've been sipping on these lovely espressos. And hold on. Should I do the pinky? Like that? Go classy on you? Good stuff. So what's on your mind, rock stars? What do you want to talk about today? Welcome, my friends. Boy, a lot of you with us. That is outstanding. My name is Borino, as most of you already know. The name was on there. And we're broadcasting live every week right here in Real Estate Rockstars. If you're not a member, if you're watching this on replay, you should be a member. Join us. Cool group. Cool people. Very inspirational. Different vibe than many of these groups. We don't do bickering. We don't do egos. We just share ideas, post tips, share what works, answer questions, and generally just hang out. So, good of you to join us. How about we get started? What do you say? All right, tons of people watching. Thank you for watching, guys. It's great to have you. If you have any questions during the live broadcast, you can just post them right next to the video. Am I pointing the right way? Should be that way. Post it right here or there or whatever. And I will check it out here on my computer and I will chat with you and answer your questions. And we'll have a generally good time. I wanted to plug in our phone system, but we ran into a couple of little small technical glitches. So we'll do it next week. If you want to call, you can just call us. All right. So I wanted to start with this little post. This is from my man Jason. Jason Fazio with Coldwell Banker. Super rock star, great agent, great guy. Had a chance to meet with him in person. We worked together. And Jason is posting, quick shout out to you, Borino. So far this year, I've had 2 relocation listing opportunities. I won them both. Awesome. Love that. When relocation companies are involved, it's required that at least 2 agents compete for the listing. And usually compete with at least 2 agents no matter what. No matter where you are, what the situation is. Many times, especially if you work competitive market like expired, it's going to be more than 2 agents. Today I won my second one for a year and was the 3rd agent competing for the particular home because the first 2 were so far apart in price. I always ask my sellers why they chose me. Great question to ask, by the way. Even if you don't get the listing, always ask them, what happened? What can you do better next time? So that's terrific. Back to Jason's post. It wasn't the fancy drone virtual tours, which he does, and they're pretty killer, or the 3D tours or the fancy technology. It was in fact that he thought the 2 other top producers were very cocky, but I was down to earth and could relate to them. Like our leader always says, thanks for being your fearless leader, someone they like and trust and respect every time. That's every time who's going to get the listing. Every single time. Every time. Is it helpful to have fancy tools? Like the drone? I love those things. It's cool. It's cool to watch. Will it help to sell the house? Probably not. But it may get buyers' attention, and that's sometimes all you need. It definitely gets the seller's attention, so it helps you get the listing, which is cool. But don't rely on it. It's not the answer. Technology is not the answer. It's how the sellers relate to you is the answer. How they perceive you, how they feel about you. I mean, if you did a test, if I could walk away 15 minutes after your listing presentation, to the seller's home. You left, let's say you got the listing, didn't get it, doesn't matter. If I were to ask the seller, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, what did Jason say? What did impress you about him? It would not be the technical stuff, it would not be 150-point plan of action, it will not be your advanced Facebook strategy or any of that stuff. It'll be simply they say we liked him, we trust him, I think he's a good agent, I think we're in good hands. I think out of the choices we had, he was the logical choice because we trusted him, because we feel good about having him handle the sale of our property. That's the answer. So you want to get good, you want to become that good, it takes certain skills, it takes certain tools, obviously, to have at your disposal, and it takes practice. You watch Super Bowl? I'll be honest with you. I am not a sports fan. We don't even have like a regular television feed. We have it hooked up to Netflix, and that's all we watch in our household. But I've read and watched the clips. So if you watched the Super Bowl last Sunday, this will make sense to you. I want to show you something. me show you. Here you go. This is quarterback Tom Brady, right? Am I getting it right? I mean, I apologize. I'm not an expert on football at all, but I understand this is the Patriots quarterback. Now, what's interesting about the game on Sunday, and football fans, please correct me if I'm wrong. Experts, please correct me if I'm wrong. But the Patriots were down throughout the entire game, right? They were losing throughout the entire game, and they won at the end. Why? Why did the Falcons lose, and why did the Patriots win? And yes, there is a technical aspect to it. Yes, there is skill. There is all that. But if I had a chance to talk to Tom Brady, I would ask him, when did you know you're going to be the Super Bowl champions? Maybe he would know it consciously, maybe not, but I assure you, he made that decision before the game started. And then throughout the game, the events throughout the game didn't throw him off of that decision, of that resolve. We're going to win this. We got this. We're going to be the champions. We're going to get the ring. So what can you learn from that? There are several things that can make you the same level of champion, the rock star, as I call you, or as we call ourselves. Number one, prepare. Prepare, because every single time you talk to an expired listing, you talk to for somebody, you prospect, you talk to any high probability leads, you follow up with your sphere of influence, you're going on a listing presentation. It's Super Bowl time. It's championship time. It's game time. You have worked your way up to that point so hard, you put all this effort, sometimes money, time, and energy into generating those leads, following up with them, setting up the appointment. It's game time. You gotta have your game on. The best game you can possibly deliver in the way you communicate, in the way you're prepared, in the way you understand the market, the marketing, all these components that require you to be the top real estate agent, the choice like Jason has been. But there's one more component to it. You decide way before what the outcome would be, how you want it to end, who is the champion there. Because in real estate, there's no second place. There's no silver medal. There is no congratulation. You either win or you lose. It's in or out. You either get it or you don't. So you got to deliver your A game every single time. You got to be on the ball every single time. And most importantly, don't let the halftime score, or don't let the score 2 minutes before the end of the game, don't let any of that throw you off your game, off your focus. What am I really after? What is my target? What am I doing? And this goes beyond just that one little presentation, that one little instance of working with that one particular seller. You may have a slow week. You may have a slow month. There may be circumstances and conditions around you, especially on the water cooler with the shitty agents who make $50,000 or less a year, where it's so easy to get distracted, so easy to keep staring at the scoreboard and go, fuck, I'm not doing well. My game is off. I'm not where I want to be. Because the moment you lose sight of the game, of the ball, of the field, of the team, it's over. And it's so hard and sometimes almost impossible to get it back. Because then you're distracted this way and this way, and the market and the sellers and the lack of leads and this and that, and I'm running out of time, and then the bills and all that. All these distractions in the monkey brain. Stay on the game. Stay with it. Take the score when it's time to take the score. And if you didn't get the listing at the end, let's say you went on a listing presentation, you didn't get it. Take score and why. Just like the Falcons will review the game. And they go play by play and they see where they screwed up so they can do better next time. Do the same. But don't take any of that as the final score, because it's not over until it's over. And it's not over. That's the beautiful thing about real estate. Let's say you talk to an expired listing. And you screw it up. You completely screw it up. You say the wrong thing, they hang up on you, it just goes horribly wrong. You know the cool thing? There'll be tomorrow, another one. 2 more, 10 more. You can call. So especially at the beginning, use these experiences as a growing path. As being at the gym, working out, as practicing throwing the ball, since we're on that sports subject today. It's kind of funny from a guy who doesn't know first thing about sports. But you understand what I'm saying. You're getting what I'm saying. Stay on the ball, do the best you can, try again the next time, and then the next time, and do a little better and a little better. But don't give up. The Patriots, all the reasons to give up and say, well, fuck, not this year. We need to deflate the ball next time. See, I know a little bit about football. You know what I mean? It was easy. It would have been so easy and logical. But they didn't. They went to overtime and won the game. Go to overtime if you have to. Stay with it. Here is what I can give you. You'll be talking to a first sale by owner who says, no, my cousin is in real estate. We already have a buyer. We already have an offer. That's not game over. You know when the game over is? When they sign a contract with another agent. You don't want to go after another agent's listing. You know when the game over is? When they sell and actually close. Until then, it's game time. And you keep going, you keep following up, you keep working them. You keep adding, of course, you never get stuck on just that one. But it's not over until it is over. So don't give up easily. That's the cool thing about working these things and doing the things I teach you, working FISBOs and high probability leads and expireds, canceled, old expireds and all that. So many agents, majority of them pay attention to the scoreboard and give up so easily. All the seller has to do is be a little rude to them or be a little abrasive or tell them we're not going to sell, get lost. And that's it. They turn around and leave. They send one letter and finish. They call one FISBO, and if they can't get them over the phone to accept the fact that they should list, which they should, but sometimes it takes a little time, they give up. Stay in the game. Stay in the game. Keep going. Keep throwing. Keep playing. You're going to take some hits. It's part of the game. You're going to get knocked down. It's part of the game. You stay with it. Está bien? How are you doing, my friends? How are you doing? Let me check your lovely comments. Thanks for being here. Coach Borino here with you. I hope you're having a good time. All right. So who do we have? Ooh, a bunch of people with us. Thanks for being here. Janice is here. Tom is here. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Good to have you guys. I'm going to check your questions in just a moment. Deborah saying hello. Jackie saying hello. Great. Stay in the game. Joe Erazo says. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Joe. You've got to stay in the game. You must. What other options do you have? You know what I mean? It's going to make you better. It's going to make you more persistent. All right, let's attack this one. This is a really good question that Anastasia posted because it ties in with what we're talking about. Hello, Rockstars. Got a third call from my mailer. Seller wants to put the house back on the market this spring. You're going to get more and more of these, which is really good. I've stopped by, walked through the property. Outstanding. That's really good. Drop off the package, arranged for my buyer to view the property this Sunday, is with buyer's price range, within the price range. The question is, how do I convert it to a listing if the buyer would not want to make an offer? All right. First of all, good job contacting the expireds. Work them, guys. As the winter is about to end, the spring market will kick in. There'll be more and more people who will entertain the idea of moving, selling the house, living somewhere else. Work them. Go back. Month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, doesn't matter. Work that market. Tons of opportunity to help people and make money. So now how do you approach it? Now, Anastasia is in a bonus position because she has a buyer for the property, but that fact doesn't really matter a whole lot. It only establishes, I'm a pro, I'm here to help, I am genuine. I'm not a bullshitter who's trying just some sleazy approach to get the listing. But whether you have a buyer for the property or not, you want to demonstrate to the seller, same thing that we talked about Jason, that they can trust you, that they respect you, and they like you. They have a connection with you. That's what you focus on. So you do several things. You discuss their situation in detail with them. So you have a clear understanding, what is it that they're doing, why are they doing it, how soon do they want to do it, all that. Just like going to a doctor, just like going to a coach. I have a coach now. Let me show you. This is my coach. This is Nancy. Nancy is a friend of mine who is an incredible coach, fantastic coach. So she set up this routine for me. This is me when we started. This was in November. I'm documenting my progress. So she set up this routine that I have to do. I follow her instructions. Nancy's an expert. I trust her. She knows what she's doing.
Get back to your air
pretty
squats.
incredible at what she does. So establish the same thing. They follow your lead. They feel like they're in good hands. I feel I'm in good hands with Nancy. We're getting results. I feel better. I've lost some weight. I have more energy. I sleep better. I'm in good hands. I had many choices, right? There are many coaches, many trainers who can do the same thing. I picked her. You want to establish the same thing. Now, what I did with Nancy at the beginning, before we started working out, is she spent about half an hour evaluating where I was. She asked me questions. She put this heart rate monitor on me, and I had to run up the stairs, and I had to get on my pre-core machine, the elliptical, you know, the heart rate thing, and I had to do push-ups and squats and all that. And she put it all on the computer, and she analyzed where I was. She took time to see what is it that is going on, and where is it that I want to go with all that? What do you want to accomplish? Arnold, I want to become Arnold. Yeah. I don't have a tumor. You know what I mean? You want to do the same thing with your clients. Spend some time really going over what is it they want to do? What is it they're trying to accomplish? And then figure out, can I help them? Because we sometimes get so anxious, oh, let me get this listing, I need to pay my mortgage, and I need to sign in the front yard. So really spend some time. That will help both them get clear, you get clear, but it also develops a relationship. Once you understand, I would simply sit down with them as well. This buyer, it may or may not work out. But you as a seller should be in a more advantageous position, in a stronger position. That means you don't just deal with one buyer, you have a selection of them. And the best way to accomplish that is through my marketing. Now, the way I accomplish that is I market to both buyers, but also agents with buyers. So we create this maximum exposure for the property so that the most qualified buyers who might be potentially interested in the property know about it and have easy way to come and see it. So it is benefit to you, Mr. Seller, if we like each other and if we feel like we want to work together, and if you're really living in, I don't know, Florida, really is in your cards, if that's really your dream, I know how to make it a reality. I've been helping people like you for the last 10 years. I have over 300 sellers just like you, and I would be thrilled to help you as well. So let me show you what it would take to get there. And you go straight into your listing presentation. That's how you do it. You don't make it a big issue, just like Tom Brady. You assume, if you decide these are good clients, these are nice people, these fit my perfect client profile, and this is a property I know I can sell, I assume it's game on. I assume I'm their logical choice. I assume it's on, and we're moving forward. Can there be some hurdle? Yeah, of course. There may be some objections or fears that they will deal with, especially with people like FSBOs and expireds. They're a little more apprehensive because they usually encountered some less than stellar agents. We know what we're talking about. You know what I'm talking about, right? So that's how you do it. Don't overthink it. Don't make it too difficult. And don't be attached to the outcome. Now, what I mean by that is, what if they say no? And what if there's nothing I can do to convince them? What if? Don't get stuck on any of these what ifs. Have a conversation, be a high status agent, assume you're their most logical choice. I had this, okay, maybe it was arrogant. But from the beginning, I felt that me being the seller's agent is the best thing that could happen to them. I believed that I was their best choice. I could be trusted. I will work my ass off. I will get them the best deal I possibly can. I will make sure that everything in my power, that we get a good offer, we get plenty of buyers, and the deal closes. It was never smooth. There was always a bump, at least one, sometimes shit bump, a mountain. But I still did my best. And if I screwed up, I screwed up. And if I did, I would tell the seller. I would apologize. If I overpriced it, so I did, and I apologized, I explained. But I always felt I was their best choice. I always felt they're in good hands. Because I figured, if I don't trust myself, if I don't believe in myself, if I don't consider myself be the rock star, how in the world am I going to sell it to anybody else? Find that in you. Find that in you, that conviction. And if something is lacking, like your market expertise or a presentation expertise or a pricing expertise, brush it up. Just learn it, master it. It's all available out there, whether my course is or somebody else's or through your office or, there are resources available. Don't overthink this. But that's how you do it. Is that helpful? Yeah? All right, guys. Está bien. Very good. Okay. So that's how you do it, yes? Ricky says, you're the man. Ricky, hey, good to have you, man. Appreciate you joining us. Ricky is the guy who I did an interview with. It's on Listing University, How to Do Over 100 Deals with Just One Full-Time Assistant. Get his book. I just posted it on Rockstar. It's really good. I highly recommend it. I just bought it, I think, yesterday. All right? Jason Fazio, just talking about you, my man. I hope you caught it, brother. Good to have you. Kimberly Hill, thanks, Borino. You're very welcome. All right. right. Good, my friends. All right, let me show you this one. Oh, we're going to have fun with this one. This is my, oh, sorry. That is Jason. We talked about this one. This is my man Ken. I had a chance to meet with Ken. Good guy, hardworking agent, nice guy up in Chicago. Mr. Ken he didn't know better, so he posted, did some marketing, got a couple of investors. So I'm going to stop right there. What the fuck are you doing, Ken? I mean, seriously, you're my student. You should know better. I'm not going to get through the rest of the post. I'm going to stop it right there. He goes into how they tried to get a property, made an offer on the property, didn't go through, they're working together, etc., etc. But it's the opening that got me. This dude is one of the nicest, hardest working experts I know. He knows the market, he works hard, he takes good care of his clients, he's diligent, he's articulate, he's fun, he has a lot of energy. Ken, what the fuck are you doing? Marketing to buyers? Why would you do that? Why would you invest time and effort and money on generating buyers? They're going to come organically. They're going to come naturally by having good listings. Why not focus on good listings? And on top of it, not just buyers, but shittiest buyers you can possibly get, which is investors. What the hell? Why would you waste a minute of your time working these people? Out of all the pool of the buyers, fine. You want to work with buyers, fine. I'm going to get a heart attack one of these days from you people, I swear. You're going to work with buyers. Against my advice, and there are plenty of videos and recordings and lives that we've done in the past where I explain it's a bad idea, it's a horrible business model. But why would you pick out of the pool of all the buyers, and there are some nice ones, like working first-time buyers, if your heart is in it, fine. It's a bad business model, but cool. But you pick the worst, the shittiest segment, which is the investors. Why would you do that? Think about it. Why would you pick a segment of buyers who are the pickiest, who have no loyalty, no emotional engagement whatsoever, who are looking for the best deal out there because they're purely profit-driven, and who can turn around and find a deal from a million other agents? That's if they find one. They're willing to make 100, 150 offers. I've worked with them. I know how it works. Before they find one golden deal. Why would you do that? At the time, be honest. The last buyer you guys spent time with, how much time did you invest? Really? I asked this question in one of my live seminars, and the answers varied from about 30 hours to about 150 hours on average. That's if the deal even closes. That's if you have a guarantee you're going to get paid at the end. Ken so far didn't get diddly. For all that effort and all the time he spent in marketing to them, following up, setting it up, showing property, writing offers, negotiating offers, he got paid $0. That's a horrible business model. And the worst part is he's going to continue and try again. Against my advice, which I'm stating very, very clearly, stay the fuck away from buyers. Let's say he spent only 20 hours working them. My gut feeling was more than about 20 hours. Now think, you invest those 20 hours into working sellers, high probability leads, prospecting, visiting them, following up. How many can you convert from a prospect or from at least a contact to a lead, maybe even an appointment? Excuse me, 20 hours of diligent work. How many? Be realistic. And how many listings can you get out of that effort if you spend 20 focused hours instead of driving around, running out, showing property, writing bullshit offers, lowball offers, steals? Why would you do that? Now, I'll tell you why. Why you deviate from what I tell you to do, which is work high probability leads, work your sphere, new and old expireds, for sale by owners. There are about 10 good systems that you can have in place, active marketing, active prospecting, to get you plenty of good leads. Why would you deviate from that? Because of false hope. Because you believe, oh, this is going to be a quick buck. I'm going to put him in a property to make a quick buck. So far, you made $0. And if you're a total rock star, out of 10 buyers you work with, you probably convert 2 or 3, maybe. But how much time and effort and focus does it take to invest in those 10 buyers? Insane. Don't do that. And definitely not investors. Stay away from buyers. Refer them out. Why don't you do this? Find a really good buyer's agent. Doesn't need to be your buyer's agent. Just an agent in your area who is good with buyers. And work out the deal. Say, pay me whatever percentage, 25, 30% referral fee for every buyer I'm going to give you. You close them, you pay me. Now think about that. That's a win-win situation. And most of those buyers will never buy. But if they don't buy, how much time did you waste? 0 hours. Good deal. Now, let's say a miracle happens, they buy and close. How much money did you make? A few $100s, maybe $1,000, $1,500, whatever, depends on your price range. But how much time did you invest? 0 hours. So you're getting paid for free. That's a win-win. While you take that time and invest in working listings, or even just chilling, exercising, getting better, practicing. There's a dozen other things you can be doing that are more efficient, more productive, more important. Out of all the people, he lets me down. I'm kind of harping on Ken, and we're friends, and you know I mean well. You guys know I mean well. But it just bothers me that you're building your business on a very bad business model. It just doesn't make sense to me. Rather than following the system, working your sellers, working your seller leads, prospecting for sellers, focusing on sellers, getting listings, controlling the market, taking weekends off so the other schmucks showing property over the weekend all work for you. That makes a lot more sense to me. Now the trouble you're running into is because you buy into the bullshit, listings are hard, there's not enough sellers, I have too much competition, all these cockamamie idiotic stories you've been telling yourself. True or false? You know I'm right. Right? All right. So that's enough of beating up on Ken. But really, get your act together, my man. And all of you, if you struggle, it's because you don't do the stuff that generates listings. Yeah? So let's not do that. Let's not do that anymore. All right, let me pull up your comments here. Does it make sense, guys? Is that all logical? Is it making sense? It should, right? Okay. Yeah, I got some angry faces. Well, you know. That's part of it. Okay. Yeah, everybody says true. Ida says true. Sandy, Andrew, you guys all agree, right? What would you suggest for a dialogue with probate leads? Sharon, I never really worked that many probate leads. I wouldn't be the right guy to tell you. I would suggest same approach as with everybody else. Questions, a lot of respect, and especially with the probate, you got to be sensitive, but find out if there's anything you can do to help. There's a probate connection, of course, with the clients. It is a very tight niche, so either you find attorneys who work probates or sellers. But would it be on top of my list? Hell no. There are other sources of business where you can very quickly pick up leads and listings way before you can do probates. You know, so I would not do that. Sounds good? All right, good. Okay, next question. Maka, this kind of ties in with what we talked about with Anastasia. Expired decided to sell on his own. He's okay if I stop by to preview the property and bring him a buyer. It's the 1 hour drive from my office, and I didn't really figure out his desire to move. Your thoughts? Should I go for it? I'd say yes. I would go for it. And I tell you why. Even if it's an hour away, you're talking to a motivated seller, high probability lead. Maybe you get it, maybe you won't. Follow the same approach. Ask questions, build connection and trust with them, see what you can get out of it. But I would use it, nothing else, just a great opportunity to practice. Especially the detachment, if I really don't give a shit whether I get the listing or not, it's so far anyway, so just meet them. Be curious. And approach it just like I would approach a FISBO, and some of it is an expired listing. Ask the same questions. What went wrong? Why are they selling? How soon they'd like to move? All that good stuff. The fact that he's willing to work with an agent is a great IOI, indicator of interest. Those people end up listing sooner or later. Selling on their own, uphill battle, very difficult. And statistically, odds are so against them. That's why 7 out of 10 end up with an agent in most areas. So just be a human being first, then an agent. Ask questions. Ask questions to which you really want to know the answers. Yeah? Good job. Glad you're going after them. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to show you. Emissary posted this, which I really liked. Look at that. This is her vision board. And I really like it. I really dig it. Nice reminder. What is it that you're doing? Just like we were talking about at the beginning. Eyes on the game. Eye on the ball. Stay in the game. This is why you're in the game. She has the expired script there on the right. Her family and her values. Some goals that she's after. A lovely home, a new car, some travel. It's awesome. Keep this in mind. This is why I'm doing this. Especially on a day when things don't go very well. You know what I mean? And there are days where things don't go very well, right? Remind yourself, this is why I'm doing it. When the seller is too difficult, when you lose a listing, when it just doesn't work. or you don't feel like doing it. Remind yourself. Very, very powerful. Very good job. Love it. Love it. Put one together. Don't overthink it. Don't spend too much time on it. It doesn't need to be an art project that needs to win gold medal. Just something that excites you, something that makes you feel passionate, something that makes you clearly understand, this is what I'm after, this is what's happening. You're sending a signal out. This is why I'm in the game. This is what I want to get out of it. This is what matters to me. Just like a roadmap. Very good reminder. Very important reminder, too. Good. All right. My Super Bowl rock stars. Amar says, you are the best. My confidence is at 100%. Rock on. It totally should be. This is brilliant. I'm with you. I'm with you. It is so much about confidence anyway. Can she share where she bought that? I'm sorry, would you post it? Where you got that frame? Really looks cool. Anton would like to know. Pam says she loves it. Yeah, I do too. I really dig it. Very cool. Okay. Moving on. If you have any more questions, feel free to post them. I'm going to check it out. Here we go. It's loading. It's a little bit slower today. But it's still good, right? Are you still enjoying it? Good. Good, 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 good. All right. Yeah, this computer is not the fastest. All right. Oops, I went too far. Here it is. Okay. I was scrolling down, and went too far. Jason says, I'm previewing a seller's home today. I got them through the Facebook post. There are no rush, but need more room for additional kids. I know you can never force people to move sooner than they want, but any dialogue to help. They originally wanted to find a perfect home and then put their house on the market. I told them that was a bad idea. You're right. You cannot make a decision for people. You cannot make a decision for the seller. What you can do is, A, understand them. Really have an understanding. Because here's the thing. They will tell you, we need more room, we'd like to have more kids, or space is limited. What is it about that matters to them? See, what I always tell you guys is get clear what is their core drive and emotion, because that will tell you what is really going on. Because the space itself only represents something. It only stands for something. Ah, that's good. So you guys, as good communicators, ask questions where you're clear. Now, I'm just assuming this. You need to figure this out for sure. Don't assume. But assuming I have a conversation with this type of seller, I would find out, why do they want to wait? What is the fear that's holding them back? What is the barrier? What's really going on? What's holding them back? Because they will give you an insight and ability to influence them. You cannot change their mind. That's impossible. But what you can do is change their state, remove some of the fears, answer some of the questions, because a lot of the fears and objections they give you simply mean they're hesitant because something scares them. We make the wrong decision, or it's not a good time, we're not going to get enough for our house, or the agent is not the right choice. And you want to find out, what is it? What's holding them back? Why not do it now? Why wait 6 months? Now, there may be a valid reason, or maybe just fear. It might be just an emotion. And if it is an emotion, you can help them with that. You can help them get unstuck. Because if it's just an emotion, then the logical explanation they're going to use will be just a construct. That's not going to make a whole lot of sense, logically. You know what I mean? Is it really better to put the house on the market in April than February? I don't know. If you check the market, homes are being sold every day. And unless you're in a super hot market where the price is appreciated, it doesn't really matter. It's not going to make a huge impact on their bottom line. On contrary, they may end up paying more somewhere else if that's the case. But there's always pros and cons. So these are just constructs. These are not like, if they tell you, well, you know what? My job transfer has to go through. Or I need to I'm going through a surgery. Or we need to add this. Or we need to finish this repair. If there's like a logical reason, that's one thing, but most of the time there isn't. Most of the time it's just a fear. Fear of what? Selling a house is uncomfortable. Selling a house is scary. Dealing with real estate agents is unpleasant. Moving is scary, difficult. Finding the right house will be stressful. All these things, stress them out, worry them. It's not like they're so excited. Yes, at the end they will be better off, especially if room is important, and let's say it represents comfort to them. They want to have more privacy, they want to have comfort, they want to have the space. Maybe it is prestige. It can be a whole bunch of stuff. But there's one dominant emotion, so once you know what that is, you can work with that. Now, I would not ask them, well, why wait? Why not do it now? The reason I would not ask that is because if you ask, especially this way, of course I'm exaggerating so you guys get the point, but if you ask it that way, you're going to come across as a low-status needy agent who's desperate to get the listing, as opposed to being inquiring, being like a counselor, like my coach Nancy would ask, what is it I wanted to accomplish? Like your tax guy will ask, like your doctor will ask, like your dentist asks. Be inquisitive without being attached. Passionate? Yes. Excited? Yes. Positive? Yes. Optimistic? Yes. Expecting good results? Absolutely. But not needy, not desperate. Very different frame of mind. Does that make sense? So see if you can figure it out. What is it exactly that they're trying to do? Why are they doing it? What would be ideal? And one of the good questions you can ask, well, if you can have it anywhere you want, anywhere you want to, where would you be 6 months from now? Where do you see yourself? Because what you're shifting is not their logic. That would be convincing. There's a lot of resistance to that, and it's impossible to pull off at the end anyway. But what you can shift is their state, how they feel. Now you're working in the emotional world, which is what triggers their move in the first place. So you have two emotions to deal with. What is the pain that they're trying to avoid, and what is the pleasure they're driving to? And what is the fear that's blocking them from taking the next step? And maybe you can do it within 10, 15-minute conversation. Maybe you can do it right there on the spot. Maybe not. But you're not attached. Because at the end, you know the right thing's going to happen. And it's going to be fine. Excuse me. Does it make sense? So that's how you do it. That's what you do. Have a 10, 15-minute conversation with them. Take a look at the house. Get clear what is it that they want. Help them get clear. And at the end, you both decide. Do we want to work together? Yes or no. Is it more beneficial to do it now as opposed to later? Yes or no. Super simple. It's actually pretty simple. And what they're going to do, something interesting is going to happen from a psychological inference standpoint. They will decide very, very quickly, and you guys experienced this before, very quickly, whether they feel comfortable doing business with you, whether you are in the running or not, whether they trust you, whether you are their choice or not. Because the rest of the interaction, they'll be just collecting evidence that supports that decision. That's why the first few seconds of the interactions are so important, because you're setting up the frame of your first impression. Trustworthy, high status, cool, helpful, or desperate, needy, too aggressive, arrogant. That's what you saw in the previous comment. Two other agents, when I read Jason's comment, two other agents too cocky. That means they didn't feel the connection. They felt this agent has a need and he's trying to, or she is trying to manipulate me. Too aggressive, reciting scripts, usually very formulaic approach. There is no connection, there's no discussion, there's no conversation. It's a typical presentation. Very different. This takes a little time to master. It's an art, but you can totally master it. With practice, that's why I'm saying go talk to a bunch of people. Go talk to expireds you're not interested in listing. Go talk to for sale by owners who are assholes. Go talk to a lot of people. Get the skills. It's like the muscle now I work. You know, Nancy makes me work hard. I have to do the lunges and squats and all that. And I tell you, when I started in November doing 20 lunges on each leg was fucking hard. I was hurting. Now not so much. I'm upping it up. I'm making it more challenging with repetition. Do the same. Because mastering the skill, getting really good at the communication, when you pick up the phone, when you text somebody, when you meet somebody in person, especially at the beginning, the first few moments of the interaction, make a huge difference. They really make or break it, especially from their perspective. Because if they evaluate you as not worthy, not fit, doesn't meet their idea of who their agent needs to be, it's almost impossible to recover from that. It's like when you're dating. First time you meet somebody, you decide very quickly whether they're in the running or not. The rest is just paying attention to make sure you made the right choice, right? It's the same thing here. It happens very, very quickly. And it's not logic-based at all, so don't kid yourself. Your market statistics are worth shit. They're not worth anything. There is no logic involved first. It's an emotional trigger, then it's then explained through logic. It's justified through logic. The evidence is logical, but not the decision itself, not the trigger itself. Very important distinction. Okay? Hello, Rockstars, from my friend Gail. I wanted to show you something from Gail. Hold on a second. I meant to bring it downstairs and I didn't. Stand by. Let me get it real quick. I know Hannah had it because this is something really cool. And it's not here with our mail either. Okay, I'm going to show you on the next live. I don't have it with me. I wanted to show you how Gail's persistent follow-up really works. Blows me away how impactful that shit is. I wanted to share that, Gail, but unfortunately I didn't bring the card downstairs. I'll show you on the next live. It's really cool. Anyway, good to have you. Glad you can join us. Amardeep has a question. Hey, Borino, I got a Fizbo last week, and I visited their home and gave them tips. The house got sold privately, but the sellers are very thankful and hopefully will, whoops, it jumped. Hopefully we'll get some referrals. Sometimes that will happen. Sometimes that will happen. You help a Fizbo, and they sell on their own, especially if the market's really hot. In parts of Canada, holy shit, things are selling left and right. Even Fizbos. You got to help them. You got to help them. If you hold back information, you're not serving anybody. You're not helping anybody. Because if you hold back the information, can they still sell on their own? Of course they can. Do your best. Do what's best. Because if you help enough of these people, some will sell on their own, some will rent. Some will list with another agent. Sucks. It hurts when that happens. But it does happen. You will never get them all. But some will come to you, and some will appreciate you. And here's more interesting thing. And this is kind of a metaphysical. It will come back to you one way or another. It will come back to you one way or another. Maybe not from that client, but it comes back. This desire and willingness and ability to get out there and be absolutely helpful, where yes, you want to put food on the table, you want to get paid, you want listings, absolutely. But in addition to that, you go in the heart. You go from the heart. You decide what's best for these people and then help them, whether it means give them advice, help them negotiate contract if necessary, help them put the deal together, refer the right professionals to them if they need somebody. You're going to get paid. It's going to work out just fine. Sometimes all it requires is just work higher numbers, work more people. Instead of working 2 or 3 Fizbos, can you have 15, 20? Instead of working 1 expired a day, can you contact 3 or 4 or 5? Can you have 3 visits a day? Just bump up the numbers so that the ratios are in your favor. Does that make sense? You know what I'm referring to? Yes? Groovy. Mr. Dan Darling is our newest member. Welcome. Nice to have you in the Rockstars. We do this every Tuesday at noon Eastern Time. We talk for about an hour and a half. I answer your questions, and we just have a good time. We chat. Joined last night. Are you aware the W Listings Bootcamp does not function on your website? I'm not aware, Dan. What do you mean? The registration is closed. We're going to reopen it next week for the next bootcamp, but the bootcamp is already on the way, so you can't sign up. We're going to have a second session tomorrow, if that's what you're referring to. If you have any trouble, technical trouble with the website or whatever, just email us. info@borinoproductions.com. All right. Jeffrey has a really good question. By the way, Jeffrey, I got your message. Roseanne will be in touch. I know you had some questions about our system, so she will be in touch with you. Borino, you have a seller in front of you at an open house, okay? Besides a CMA, what other value proposition can you offer to get the appointment? Or what should I do at the second contact? Call, as you have said, first conversation is rare at an open house. Really good question. So you do an open house, and the seller comes through the open house, somebody who's thinking about selling. What do? First, strong impression. Confident first impression. Great to meet you. Anything I can do to help? What are you guys planning to do? How soon? Where are you going to be? Exciting. Get in a conversation with them. Rather than reciting questions, be inquisitive. Not interrogation, but conversation. Genuine connected conversation where you really are curious what they're trying to do, why, how soon, and all that. Get as much information as possible. Thank them for coming by. What I would do right away, send them a quick text. Hey, it was great meeting you. Hopefully I'll be able to help. And then just follow up. So the second conversation would be, once you understand what they're trying to do, The most important element of it, of course, is the core drive and emotion, because that will tell you how motivated, realistic, and how intense their desire is, which will tell you, do you have a good seller to work with? Maybe, maybe not. This is also where so many other agents screw up. They think they have a client before they know they have a client. In other words, if you don't know whether they're motivated, if they're realistic, if they're willing, if they're able, if they're ready, you don't know if you have a client, so don't need to jump ahead. Take the steps. So follow up with the questions. Be clear. When they're going to move, what type of home they're looking for, have they found the house yet, what is the main benefit by moving? Because you're going to incorporate the core driving emotion in your language, in your communication, in your influence. See now, let's say in the case we discussed earlier with Jason, I have a seller, and let's say the house is really small, and they want to move to a bigger house. And the comfort, the sense of comfort, and of course love for the family is really important to them. Now I will insert the right language in my communication with them to create more resonance, to create more emotional engagement. So I would use words like, you picked a lovely area. There are a lot of homes there that offer a lot of comfort. They're perfect for a growing family like yours. So what we need to do is a couple of things. Let's figure out exactly what is it the buyer, a good qualified buyer, would pay for your home right now. What is the most you can get? How much cash you're going to put in your pocket? And then let's see how we can make that dream of owning this lovely home for your growing family a reality. We run some numbers. We do a complete market analysis so you know where you stand. How long would it take realistic to sell? Should there be any improvements, any repairs we should do to the property to enhance the value, get more buyers, get them excited, get you a better offer? And then you decide. My job is just to provide you good information, give you the answers you're looking for, then you decide. Maybe we'll decide to work together, shake hands. Maybe not, who knows? But at least you know where you stand. That's my job. So let's get together tomorrow for 20, 30 minutes, go over everything. Then you can think about it, you can decide. And that's it. That's the whole dialogue. Nice and soft. But I would inquire first. I'd be inquisitive first. I would be curious first. Yeah? Is that making sense? All right. Carolina says, my frustration is when I call a FSBOs, they always say they don't want to list with an agent. Well, that's the problem, Carolina. You're not calling for them to list with an agent. You don't call about the listing at all. You're clearly not following my advice. Or usually they will say they will sell it by themselves. We are not in a hurry to sell, but if you ever bring us a buyer, we'll be willing to work with you. That's fantastic. You have a good motivated seller who wants to work with an agent. They just don't know the process yet. They will probably add it for a short period of time. They don't understand that the odds are so against them. So the first thing I'm going to give you is when you're working with, first of all, calling FSBOs, kudos. Carolina, first and foremost, well done. Well done. It takes balls, it takes guts, and it's not an easy thing to do at first. Is getting these folks on the phone. Okay, so hat tip to you for that. But second, use the approach of baby steps, the no resistance FSBORINO approach. If you don't have FSBORINO, please get it. It will make your life easier. You will understand so much about their psychology, about the right approach. See, the moment I have a seller, let's say I'm the seller, and I say, you know what, honey? I read this book about real estate. It's called For Sale by Owner for Dummies. And we can save $8,000 in commission because there are buyers out there who look for properties without an agent. We're going to save the commission. All I need to do is get a sign. I'm going to stick it in the front yard, and we're going to put an ad on that thing called Craigslist, and people will come and they will buy it. See, from the seller's perspective, this makes perfect sense. This is logical to them. They don't understand the market statistics. They don't know that 92% of the properties in the United States are sold with an agent. They don't know the odds are stacked against them, and 7 out of 10 for sale by owners end up listing with an agent in a month. They don't know any of that. They don't want to know. Because in their mind, they think they're doing the right thing. So now imagine they put it house on the market. They're expecting all these buyers. What's going to happen? A flood of realtors. Fuck! Everybody calling, list with me, list with me, list with me. So of course develop certain resistance, certain anger, certain pushback. And they find this deflection. Say, we don't want to list, get lost, bring us a buyer. And you know why they get so pissed off? Because so many agents tell them, you're stupid. That's a dumb thing you're doing. They're not using those words, but that's the message. Nobody wants to be told they're wrong. Nobody wants to be told they're doing the wrong thing. Nobody wants to be told they're stupid, and it's not going to work. That's why other agents, not you guys, my student, get so much resistance. Does that make sense? So here's the better approach. No resistance approach thing. I totally understand. I'm not there to list your property. Don't even know if I would want the listing, if you and I would like each other. I don't even know if I have a buyer for your property without seeing it first, obviously. Let's do this. Let me give you, can you give me a 5-10 minute tour tomorrow? I can be there around 4:45. I'll take a quick look at the property. We'll chat for a couple minutes, and we'll take it from there. And then if I have somebody, would you prefer if I bring them back, or would you like me to just send them to you? That's it. You want to have the face-to-face contact. You want to have the interaction with them. So you can ask all those questions, everything we've been talking about today. Is it coming together? Does it make sense? Nowhere would I, no way would I at the beginning try to convince them to list with me. You're a perfect stranger to them. You're just another needy agent to them. It would require a lot of skill, a lot of effort, and a lot of time to try to convince them, and most of the time that doesn't work. Show me an agent who can pull it off consistently. Bullshit. Nobody can pull it off consistently. It's just a hard way to do it. Can you occasionally click with them? Is it occasionally possible? It's possible. And I'm not saying don't do it if the window opens. If the opportunity is there, go for it. My point is, if it doesn't, which is what happened most of the time, don't give up. You're on the right track. You just have to follow the system, follow the process. You have a conversation on the phone, you preview the property, you ask them some questions, you qualify the seller, you establish good first impression, you establish trust, you establish understanding what is it they're trying to do. One of the key questions you need to figure out is how long has it been for sale, because they will tell you where they are in terms of how realistic they are in knowing that it's not going to work on their own. And then you're just being cool, you're being helpful. Every few days, you ping them with something. You offer something of help. You offer advice. You offer information. And you start converting them. That's the whole secret. Okay? So no convincing, no talking about listing at all. You don't even know if you want the listing. You know what I mean? That's where so many agents keep screwing this up. So please don't. Groovy? Was that helpful? Jackie would like to know the cost of the boot camp. The cost of the boot camp, there is no boot camp right now. And we don't have one scheduled yet. There's one in the process. The boot camp registration will most likely open this week. I will let you know, Jackie. And the truth is, we don't have a pricing yet. And I'll tell you why. We are finishing up the Video Plus, the Video Express course, which will be how to make cool videos using nothing but your smartphone. And if we get it done on time, I'm going to incorporate it in the package because we're going to be referencing it and using it. That will impact the price. That's the reason. So I will let you know. Groovy? But I would love to have you. There's going to be one in the spring. I'm guessing probably in April. Another boot camp. All right. Is there any update for the perfect 30-day blueprint? What is the 30? Oh, is it the two-part webinar? It's on the Listing University. Yes. So if you're a member, you're welcome to watch it. Listing University is a private membership site I have, where if you have one of my systems, you get free 30 days to check it out. A lot of webinars, recordings, interviews. We just did one. We're doing another one with Jason on Friday, who's an absolute Keller Williams rock star, and I will read during the interview his accomplishments. But Jason rocks it when it comes to Zillow and Yelp reviews and gets a lot of inbound business that way. I met him in Miami last year. We had a chance to talk, and he did a presentation how he does it. Killer stuff. So it's going to be a next private Listing University exclusive interview we're doing on Friday for you guys, and it's going to be posted. We did one with Rika Caruth on last Friday, 150 transactions, one full-time agent, one assistant. Pretty crazy stuff. So that's all in the Listing University. You can just join if you want to. It's $47 a month. Very inexpensive, tons of resources. We have over 100 recordings there. You can pick and choose whatever you want. For marketing, we had John Poley, for example, did a two-part series on how to run some killer Facebook strategies, Facebook advertising on peanuts, and get you tons of business that way. Both seller leads and buyer leads. Really good stuff. That was one of the last recordings. Gail, you did one, some killer stuff, how she closed 50 referral transactions last year using postcards and social media. Good stuff. So check it out. If you're not a member, go to listinguniversity.com and join us. Okay. Do you still have the 2 months promotion with Espresso Agent? We have a 1 month for $29, Joe. It is, the code is Borino. Espresso Agent, for those of you who don't know, is a provider who will get you for sale by owners and expired listings. Names, phone numbers, and emails. It's a data provider, data aggregator. If you go to espressoagent.com and use the code Borino, $29 for 30 days. Give it a try. See how you like it. I think out of all the offerings, all the companies, Espresso would be my choice when it comes to quality of the data and how much it costs. So that would be my choice. So go to espressoagent.com, use the code BORINO, check it out. Jeannie, that actually ties up to your question. Can you tell us your favorite source for getting cell phone numbers? That would be it. Espresso Agent would be my first choice. Check it out, $29 for first 30 days. So take a looky. All right, guys, I think there was one more question here. Or did I cover it all here? Let me check. Let me check real quick. Okay, we answered that. Good stuff so far. Are you guys enjoying it? I'm not going to yell at you much today. Emissary. Oh, here's the follow-up, you guys. You wanted to know where she got the lovely frame for her vision board. It is from Dollar General, and it costs $10. So get that. Very cool. Thanks for sharing that. All right. Oh, thanks for the love. It's so awesome when you do live, and you look at the screen when I say or do something you guys like and appreciate. Suddenly these tiny little hearts and these likes start flying across the screen. That's like my favorite thing. Why the pissed off face? All right. Brenda says, I do probates. I have 3 probate lawyers I work with. And that would be my suggestion. If you guys want to work probates, establish good relationship with attorneys and ask them what kind of information would be helpful. Would market updates be helpful? Can I take you to lunch? Is there anything I can do to provide that would help your work, your business? How do I know if somebody is a good client for you? That's one of the great questions you can ask. Because what the probate attorney, of course, is looking for is more business as well. So you want to help each other out. So you ask them, how do I know? Who makes a good client for you? Who makes a good prospect? Now, they have to be alive. Can't believe I said that. Horrible humor. So yeah, touch base with Brenda, you guys. Connect with Brenda if you want to pick her brain. Or Brenda, would you mind? Brenda, would it be worth for us to do a little interview? How to connect with these attorneys? So people who are interested in probates could follow your model. Would that be good? You guys would be interested in that? So Sharon and somebody else would maybe appreciate that. Yeah, Andrew, very good point. Fear is a fake evidence appearing real. Totally. Yeah. Victoria, just got another response for my monthly email newsletter campaign, ready to list in June when his daughter settles to the university of choice. Fantastic! This is from my sphere of influence. My old college professor absolutely adore. I got another listing lead from it yesterday. What a nice boost after personally heartbreaking and challenging week. Totally agree. All right, you guys. Looks like we would do a little interview. So if Brenda would be up for it, we could do a little interview. How to do that? Gina would like to know if this will be available online later. Yes, it will. Nelson, Mr. Nelson, it's been about 4 years. Good to have you back, my man. That's awesome. What a nice surprise. Do you recommend having flyers on your real estate signs? Deborah would like to know. Or do you feel that we will miss out on potential leads? You should absolutely have flyers, Deborah. The short answer is yes. You should totally have flyers. Now, there's a trick to it. And again, I will refer you to the Listing University because there I did about a 90-minute session, what should be on your flyer, how to design both sides so you increase the inbound traffic, both calls, emails, and web traffic. So it's not just the flyer. And there are a couple of things you need to leave out of your flyer for it to be effective, to get the curiosity, to get people interested. And you'll be surprised, it's not always the price. So yes, use flyers. Check out that coaching because obviously I don't have the time or the space here to really go into the details, but having flyers on your site, I know it's old-fashioned, it still works. It's a very inexpensive way to promote your name throughout the neighborhood because sign is this nice billboard you have in the neighborhood. Now there's only one downside, and that is if you have an overpriced listing. Because at the beginning, you have the name, you have the presence in the neighborhood. There's always somebody else in that neighborhood who's thinking about selling. That never fails, right? But after about 4 months, if you can't get the sucker sold, it becomes a liability. That's why you never want to overprice the listings. Get the sucker sold because the best advertising will be first the sign goes up, you put the flyers up, and then the sold sign goes up. Ooh. Good advertising, good promotion. Now you're attracting other sellers. Forget buyers. You don't care about buyers unless they want to buy that property. That's why you have the flyer, to make it as easy as possible. Some people will call, some people will visit your website, some people will email you. So yes, use flyers. Excellent question. Brenda says, oh goodness, I don't know if I have too much to say. I just had a lawyer. I used him, and he put me in touch with a couple others. Probably 3 listings a year per lawyer. Well, 3 listings per year, 3 lawyers, that's 9 listings. It's, let's say, $8,000 a commission. That's $50,000. I would still be curious, Brenda. Maybe you can do a little talk, if you're up for it, if you feel comfortable talking about it. Because I think you might have some insights to share. Because having a good relationship with lawyers, and 3 of them, you're probably doing something right. So if you don't mind, I would love to do a little recording with you. We'll just get on Skype, just you and I. There'll be nobody else. You and I on Skype, just chatting for a little while, if you're cool with that. Yeah? All right. Yeah, Sharon says, we'd love to have any insights too. And I would too. Jeannie is saying, flyer and QR code, website and text capabilities work well with me. Yes, that's exactly right. QR code so they can scan it. Website text. Absolutely perfect. Okay? Sandy says, yes, that would be great. And Brenda is okay with that. Yay! So we're going to talk to Brenda. So after we finish, Brenda, I'll be in touch. We'll set up some time and just get on the computer. A little webcam is good enough, and we'll chat for a little while. Record how you develop a relationship with 3 lawyers, worth about 9 listings a year. Very cool. That's going to be good. Excellent. So Sandy, AJ, Borino, your rule, question. I'm a listing agent focused only on listing, but I'm in need of buyer for cash flow. Any good ideas? AJ, Jesus Christ. Dude, how can you even ask me that? Buyers don't mean cash flow. Buyers will run your business in the ground. Dude, after all we've been talking about, don't work with fucking buyers. Buyers don't mean cash flow. You've been told wrongly, especially new agent. This drives me crazy. Here goes Borino rant. At the beginning, you got your real estate license, and you've been told, get some buyers, put them in the property quick. That's a quick money. Biggest piece of bullshit I've ever heard. When was the last time you picked up a buyer, showed them a property over the weekend, wrote up a contract, got it closed in 30 days and got paid? When was the last time that happened to anybody? It doesn't work that way. It never happens that way. First, how many buyers you can actively really work with? Seriously, honestly, how many? 3 maybe? Maybe 4. How much time do you need to invest in researching properties for them, setting up appointments for them, following up, go show property or even preview property first, showing property, going back and forth, going back to that one they kind of like but they didn't, then finally going to the office to write up an offer, then getting that offer presented, getting it accepted, going back and forth. I mean, fuck me, how is that easy? How is that fast? I don't understand. And then at the end, you got a text 2 weeks later saying, oh, we found this great house during an open house. Somebody else sold it to us. Sorry. But we really liked you. How is that easy and how is that fast? Somebody explain this to me. Look around you. Every single agent worth something, meaning they make 200, 300, 400, 500,000 or more a year. How many of those do actively work buyers? How many times have you seen a top producer on the weekend in their Mercedes chauffeuring people around and showing property? Never! That just doesn't happen. They have a buyer's agent do that shit for them. They're playing golf on the weekend. They're chilling with their family. They're doing something else because they know better. Oh, but once I get there, I'll be like them. Bullshit! You got to be like them to get there. Hear me on this. You know what you're trying to do? I'll show you what you're trying to do, guys. I picked this up in Las Vegas. This is what you're trying to do. Right here. This. See these? See these? Hop, 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 hop. 7. 6. Wah, wah, wah. You lose. Didn't buy. Hop, 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 hop. What we got? 5. Wah, wah, wah. You lose. What we got? 9. Wah, wah, wah. And that's what you're doing. With your business, with your future, with your money, with your family, with yourself. Why would you do that? It's a very different mindset. We've talked about this. They're in a purchase mode. They go on Zillow, they go on Realtor.com, they're buying pretty pictures. It's a different mind frame. It has nothing to do with you. You're just a means. There's no hard deadline. There's no loyalty. It's not because they're bad people, because they're in a different psychological state. The mode of buying a house is different from selling a house. Selling a house means there's a definite deadline. There's definitely a solution in an agent that needs to provide that service to us. It's a very different mindset, very different frame. Stop this. Do not work with buyers. Get a buyer's agent. Either get your own if you're busy enough or develop a relationship with one. Refer those suckers out. Focus on listings. Listing is always going to be the name of the game in this business. You want to double-end transactions? That's the only buyer you want to work with? You want to work your sphere of influence if somebody's a really good past client? Or seller moving up? That's it. The rest, out. But you're going to keep doing it because it feels like work. And because you're doing hope, hope, hope. Instead of having a solid business model. And a solid approach. This is where I'm going, and here's how I'm going to get there. It's going to take me this. It's going to take me 50 listings, which means I have to go on 70 listing appointments, which means I need to generate 350 leads. That means every day I work, I need to generate 2 leads. And that's my focus now, 2 seller leads a day. That's my mantra. All my systems, all my effort, all my money, all my energy, all my education, everything I do every day revolves around that. Listings, sellers. I think I got my point across. Yes? 3 listings my first month. Nick, rock and roll. That's what I'm talking about. Nick, exactly. I'm a new agent, but my main focus is getting listings. That's what it's supposed to be. Sharon says truth. Exactly. Think about it. Why would you do this to yourself? Why would you go the hard way if there's an easier way? It's never going to be easy. This is a difficult business. It's not very complicated. It's still based on connection between people and the agent. It's not easy, but it's doable. The trouble you run into is comfort. Comfort zone. Because showing property to a buyer, there is no risk. It's comfortable. You got to get out of your comfort zone. Got to become comfortable with being uncomfortable, because talking to FISBOs is harder. Talking to expireds is harder. Prospecting is harder. Cold calling is hard. Door knocking is hard. Trying to convert open house visitors into leads. It's hard. Following up with them is hard. You're going to get rejection. You're going to get resistance. It's hard. But that's the way. You can be chasing online leads all day long. Spend money, spend time, spend effort. I don't know one single agent, not one, and I know tens of thousands of you guys. And I've been blessed with some really awesome students and awesome agents that I got a chance to work with, some real rock stars. But show me one who makes $500,000 or more strictly from online lead generation, who became successful with a predictable business model that doesn't cost arm and their leg and doesn't have a huge team behind them, who pulled that off through passive marketing and advertising. I don't know one. I don't know one. I know many agents who are good at that stuff, and it is part of the puzzle. It is part of that pie. It's part of the mix. Fine. But it's not majority. And it's definitely not the mix. So if you're not where you are, if you think this is the answer, you're sadly mistaken. And you're in for a hard time, financially and business-wise. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't oppose online advertising. I'm not against Facebook. We use it. We run ads. Everybody does. But to rely on that simply because your emotions control what you are willing to do and not willing to do is a horrible premise. How I feel about it makes no difference. Is it profitable? Is it effective? Is it important? Will this get me fast to where I want to be? Is this the road to the results I'm looking for? That's how you measure it. Not to mention, you're going to burn a lot of cash to make these campaigns work really well. If you have it, fantastic. And if you figured it out, please contact me. I'd love to talk to you about it. So far, I haven't met anyone. I've met agents who have some spotty success, and this is great. Listing here, deal there. But no more than that. And when you start breaking it down, there was one agent. 80 transactions a year. I was impressed. A lot of it online. I was impressed. But then we started breaking down the numbers, and I'm like, wait a second, but you have this big team. You pay all this money out. Where is your profit? There wasn't much left. That's not what I want for you guys. I want you to work hard, I want you to be effective, and I want you to keep a lot of your money. Yeah? All right. Very good. Visiting expireds and listening to you in the car, says Maka. Hey Maka, good to have you. Visiting expireds, that's awesome. Very cool. All right, so that all makes sense because you guys clicking a lot of these likes, so it makes sense. I don't pretend or blow smoke up your ass telling you this is going to be easy, by far. But it is effective. It works. I mean, read the stories that I share with you every day or every week. You know what I mean? Use common sense. If somebody's trying to sell you snake oil, think, why? What is it? It's easy to sell agents easy stuff. That's why I'm so careful when we're going to roll out the Express Video program. Because I don't want you to think, oh, cool, all I need is my phone, I'm going to do some cool videos, cha-cha-cha, you know, show my hot body, and people will flock to you. No, it doesn't work that way. It's not the magical answer either. And I would never dare to sell it to you as such. Huh? No Vegas real estate, people. Sandy says, I have such resistance in calling FISBOs. How do I get over that and just pick up the damn phone? Wow, what a great question. Well, first of all, Sandy, thanks for being honest. And I very much appreciate the honesty in it. I tell you, at the beginning, see, I don't know how much of my story you know, but I was an immigrant from Czechoslovakia. To me, the idea of contacting strangers on the phone was so foreign. That was unheard of. We, as a kids, used to prank call people. You know, you would dial somebody on the phone, and you're like, hi, Mr. Rogers, this is the post office. You got some stinky package. And then when we hang up. But that was it. So when I got into real estate and they told me, well, here's your phone, go call. I'm like, call who? I didn't know anybody. They were like, here's the phone boy. Are you fucking kidding me? Huge resistance, huge fear, huge discomfort. And I resisted for a long time. And just like many of you, I was trying to find the shortcut. Trying to stay within my comfort zone. And like you, I despised it, I hated it. Door knocking, fuck me, I hate it. You know what it reminded me of? Those movies from the 40s and 50s, you know, the peddlers, they used to go door to door, selling Bibles and vacuum cleaners and God knows what kind of shit. That's what it felt like. And it was very uncomfortable. And my self-worth like, fuck me, I'm a movie star from Czechoslovakia, I shouldn't be doing this shit here. It was hard. And that's why I ended up homeless. So I had to reset. I had to change. Because I also understood that the mechanics of this business are such that I must talk to, connect with, and build trust with a lot of people to make a lot of money. It's really that simple. And I had to get over it. Because the two choices you have, Sandy, is either get over it how you feel, either do it in spite of how you feel, or change how you feel. But if you put in an equation, well, I don't feel good about this, so I'm not going to do it, you're fucked. That's a bad premise. So I offer you change how you feel. I rewrote my mind script. I mean, we did a whole session. I have a whole bunch of videos on it, how to have a confident communication. Look it up on YouTube, please. Because I spent about 40 minutes working with Maka. Maka is here with us. How to get over it, how to be more confident. Some of it will come from practice, just doing it a lot. You simply shut down how you feel about it, you keep going. And it's going to be uncomfortable at first. Use your physiology. There's a whole bunch of tools and techniques I share. If you really want to rock it, get the Core Influence. It's a program that deals with nothing but this. Confident communication with strangers, how to influence people, connect with them, build trust. I put it together specifically where I wanted to outline how I took the journey and went from being timid and shy and nervous and insecure and fearful to being confident, connected communicator who could influence people fairly easily, who has no problem now talking to strangers and get compliance from them. Now, compliance, don't confuse compliance with manipulation. Compliance simply means I can very quickly determine what is their issue, what is their problem, what is their situation, and then decide if I want to work with them, and so win them over, win their trust, and win their respect. So get it. It's called Core Influence. Go to topconfidence.com. You get a booklet in the mail. You get a set of cards that will help you practice the right dialogues, never memorizing scripts. You get all that. Same with if you just want specifically FISBOs, get the FISBORINO. It is the most complete system that I know of for FISBOs. That includes the dialogues and the psychology and all that. But at the end, there's no magic answer. It's going to require doing it a lot. Another example, my workouts. You know, at the beginning, I was supposed to do push-ups, and I totally got out of shape. Back years ago, I was in a good shape, going to the gym and exercising. Now, you know, 2 kids, lovely wife who loves to cook and enjoys entertaining just like I do. The waistline went big, I got fat, I got lazy, and I got complacent because I had so much work to do. All these good excuses, huh? And so going back to the routine where now I work out 5 to 6 times a week, it was hard at first. Even doing like 10 push-ups, really solid, good form push-ups, was really hard. Now, not so much. So I did 10 first, then I added 2, then I added 2, then I went to 20, now I'm at 24. I can do 24 nice, clean, good push-ups every single day, which to me feels pretty good. Now some of you go, dude, come on, seriously? I can do it with my arm. Jason Fazio here. You know what I mean? But not me, that was hard. But I kept doing it. So just like you, just make a commitment. Says, okay, I'm going to talk to one for sale by owner today, no matter what. One. And I don't give a shit what's going to come out of it, whether they chew my ass off, whether I'm going to get something out of it or not, doesn't matter. Any of that is absolutely irrelevant. I'll just have a conversation with them. And I'll do the best I can. And I will record it, one little digital recorder, record yourself, and see what happens. And then do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again. It's not the easiest way, but it's the effective way. Because here's what's going to happen. If you figure out how to talk to for sale by owners, you're going to realize they need your help. Most of them end up listing. Most of them are motivated sellers, and they pay commissions. You know what I mean? Good combination. You just need to figure out how to make it work. Most agents don't know. You will notice that once you master this, and it shouldn't take more than a few weeks, you will have competition, just not very competent competition. There'll be other agents going after FSBOs, just not very well. There'll be other agents talking to them, they just won't have enough respect. Because only one of two things will happen. The agent will be either really aggressive or really needy. You're going to be right in the middle and sweet spot. That's where you want to be. All right? Helpful? You are the man, Borino, says Danielle. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate the nice words, Mr. Danielle. Samantha says, you are so right. I got that text, wouldn't even pick up the phone to say sorry, just a text. Yeah, absolutely. Nick says, so true. Sharon, wish I had you when I first started in real estate. I appreciate that, Sharon. Man, this is scrolling way too fast. I can't keep up with your comments, people. Where is Sharon? Here is Sharon. Okay, so she's saying, wish. Here it is. Wish I had you when first started in real estate. I worked buyers for years and I got exhausted working 7 days a week. It was grueling. Right, Sharon? And you didn't get paid a whole lot. You didn't make a great living doing that. Am I right? Yeah, I know. I did it too. How do you think I know? Absolutely. Aaron says, should you show active comps to for sale by owners and expireds who have not signed with you yet? Absolutely. Why not? Sure. The only thing I would recommend do not do with FSBOs is contracts. Do not give legal advice, do not give contract advice. That's the only thing I would stay away from. But like market updates, what the properties are going for, tips about the property, tips about marketing, totally. Be cool, be helpful. Don't overdo it, don't overload them. One tidbit of helpful information at a time. That's all you need to run. Okay? Great question. How are Facebook ads? Facebook ads are good, Mika. They're good. Micah, I always struggle with some of these names. I apologize. How are Facebook ads? They're good. They should be part of your mix. You should run some boosted posts, some property promotions, some seller ads, totally. Check out the interview I did with John Poley. Really good stuff in Lister University. Tons of good stuff. Just don't think that that's the answer where all of a sudden you need to prospect or do anything else. Okay? Cool, cool, cool. So true. Sandy says, thank you so much. Very welcome. Noel has a question. Is there a mail merge to the personalized expired letter saying this could be you, or can it be skipped? I would personalize it. Way more impact. Property photo, their property photo, mail merge, if you can. Now, with that being said, do the best you can what you have. If it's real pain in the ass, if it's really slowing you down to this point, skip it. But it's more powerful if you have it there. All right. Can I get more than one zip code on espresso? You certainly can, Jackie. Absolutely. My assistant and I listen to your webinars and we regularly burst out laughing at your language. We both love you. We are trying FSBOs and old expired, says Brenda. Brenda, thank you so much for being a fan. I really appreciate it. My language, it's not an act. It's not something that I developed to impress you guys or try to be funny. That's just who I am, and I felt like there are plenty of pretentious people who pretend to be somebody they're not, so I think you deserve somebody who's authentic like myself, to the language and all. John Poley is doing my Facebook management too, says Brenda, outstanding. He does ours too. A really good guy. Part 3 of John Poley is coming, Jeffrey. We're going to do a review of your Facebook ads. We got to put it on the calendar. I can tell you it's going to be sometime either last week of February or first week of January. So it is coming. Thanks for the reminder. Oh, speaking of which, if you guys would like to do a digital review, if you'd like to be part of it, what we're going to do is, and I'm not sure with whom I'm going to do this. I have a couple of people in mind. But what we're going to do, maybe it's going to be John, maybe somebody else. Another expert, web expert. But what we'd like to do is do a digital audit of your presence online. We're going to review your personal Facebook page, your business Facebook page, your YouTube channel, if you have one, your personal website, meaning your branded website, and if you have your company website, any other online presence. We're going to do an active Google search for you, pretending to be a potential client or an existing client who's looking for confirmation that they made the right choice hiring you. So we're going to check artwork, copy, text, a call to action, forms, everything. The kind of first impression you make. We're going to point out what we think is good, what works, what's appropriate, or what's effective, and things that you should improve and why. This is free. We're going to do it. We're going to record the whole thing, so it'll be available to the List University students. You can watch it live if you want to. We're looking for maybe 4, maybe 5 agents, 5 of you guys who would like to get this audit. Now be prepared that if something is shitty or needs to be fixed, it's going to be pointed out to you, but it will help you. Because at the end, if you fix it, there's a good chance you can generate more business, connect with more people. There's nothing to sell at the end. There's not going to be like a huge sell for this service or whatever. I just think it would be nice for other people to notice what works, what doesn't. The reason I'm bringing it up is because so many of you, when you apply to be members of the Rockstars, my admins, what they look for first is, are you a real estate agent? Notice that we get very little spam in Rockstars, that there are groups who get overrun by all kinds of spam and shitty posts. We stay away from that, and the way we do that is the first thing we look for is who you are. We check the About You section on your page, and you would be shocked how many people, active real estate agents, don't let the world know that they're real estate, how to get in touch with them, their website, their contact information is completely missing, which I think is really bad practice. Because you need to be out there. You need to let the world know, this is who I am, this is what I do, here is how you get in touch with me. That's the basic stuff. So I figured might as well do a little audit with a few of you guys and help you out. We're going to talk about your pictures. We're going to talk about if you use video, how effective all that is. So if you'd like to be audited, what you need to do is send an email to Borino, B-O-R-I-N-O, at expiredplus.com, borino@expiredplus.com. Do I have my email here on the slides? Let me check. Hold on a second. I do not. Okay. So it is borino@expiredplus.com, and in the subject, put digital audit. In the body of the email, put your contact information. My staff will be in touch with you. We're going to set up when and how we're going to do this. It's going to happen within the next couple of weeks. You're welcome to participate if you'd like. Now, you have to give us the permission to be honest with you, because there may be some things we're going to criticize that you might not like, but we will help you also point out this is how we would do this is how I would suggest you do it, and here's why. Groovy? Exciting? Isn't it cool? I thought you would appreciate that. In this day and age, you got to have a good, nice, professional online presence. So if you'd like to be part of it, let me know. Shoot me an email, borino@expiredplus.com. Put digital audit in the subject, and then put your contact information below, and we will be in touch. We'll ask you some questions, how to get in touch with you, and when we're going to do this. We're going to set it up. I think you will enjoy it. Yeah? And then the recording, of course, will be in the List University, as all the recordings are. Do you recommend being present at Brokers Open? Nick, that's a really good question. Yes, I do. For several reasons. Get feedback about the property, number 1. Get feedback about the price, number 2. Make connections with real estate agents, because you never know who's going to bring you the next offer. And having a good relationship with the other agent can be worth its weight in gold. So I do recommend that. And especially if you have a listing where you're not so sure about the appearance, the condition, the repairs, or the price, it's so helpful if other agents submit their feedback that you can later present to the seller and says, look, it's not just me. A lot of agents feel the same way. So yeah, you should be there. Jeffrey says, I volunteer, Borino. Awesome. Would love to audit you, Jeffrey. Shoot an email to borino@expiredplus.com. Put digital audit in the subject line and put your contact information about it. We'll be in touch. Jenny says, that would be awesome. David says, that's awesome. Yeah, we'll totally do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks to you, I've done most of my listings from expireds. Can you give me some advice doubling my efforts, says Vince. What a great question, Vince. First of all, congratulations on doing well. Great, great question. So you're doing most of the expired. So let me give you a few things that will help you. There'll be about 5 or 6 ideas that you will find helpful. You are at a certain level of your production. I would step back and I would analyze what is working already. Where is the business coming from? And like I said, maybe it's new. What is it? It's new or old expireds? What did you say? Let's say just from expireds. Okay. Can you expand that? In other words, if you work just new expireds, can you add old expireds to it? Can you add canceled listings to it? Simply expanding the number of potential leads and turning them into actual leads and then clients will increase your bottom line. So that'd be the first thing. Can you bump up the numbers? Can you bump up the numbers from other funnels? Never put all your eggs in just one basket. You should always have 3, maybe 4 lead generation funnels. And what I mean by that is you should have active prospecting funnels. So expireds would be one. Can you add for sale by owners to it? How is your sphere of influence funnel working? Do you do either online marketing, offline marketing, direct mail? Can you expand that? So adding more funnels, improving the existing funnel. The next thing I would look at is, how is your approach? Have you recorded yourself recently? Have you listened to yourself? What do you sound like on the phone? What do you sound like when you talk to them in person? Can you improve that communication? Can you practice and become even more confident, more effective in the dialogues? Next thing I would look at is the marketing materials you use. How is your expired package? Is it the latest one? Is it really the best? Or can that be improved? How is your follow-up? Is the sequence the right sequence? And the 2 things about follow-up I would look at is, how often do you follow up? Can that be improved? Would it be helpful to be in touch more often? And the way you know that is if you frequently encounter leads where they say, oh, you're calling us now, we listed 2 weeks ago with somebody else. That's where you know your frequency is off. You need to follow up more often. Can you improve the quality of your follow-up materials? Can you convey the message better? Can you be less salesy, more personal? Can you use tools like, I've become an affiliate, I love the system so much. Gail, thank you so much for introducing me. The send-out cards. It's a phenomenal tool to build relationship with leads, sphere of influence, past clients, even current clients. I love it so much, I signed up. We spent like $500 signing up, and I love it. I think you should join. I'll make a lot of money if you join. I'll probably retire to Bahamas. You know what I mean? So look at all these tools that you have at your disposal. And then here's the most important one. How far do you want to take it? What is the big picture? What is your end game for this year, for the next 5 years? And then I would work the plan backwards. Get very specific first, because having this vague goal of I want to do better, I want more. How much more? How much is it going to cost? Redo that exercise we did, the part 1 and part 2 of the blueprint, success blueprint. It is in the Listing University. Go through it, Vince. Do the exercises where you decide very, very specifically, this is the lifestyle I want, here's what it's going to cost me, and this is the plan to get there. And then you break it down. You break it down. Deals closed, listings, appointments, leads generated. And then you break down lead generation funnels. I need to do so many FISBOs, so many expireds, so many sphere of influence, so many open house, so many online, or whatever else funnels you have. That's the answer. That's how you do it. Yeah? Helpful? And Vince is a rock star, so I'm sure it's going to be good. All right. Sandy says, you can audit me if you'd like. Absolutely, Sandy. Send us an email, borino@expiredplus.com. Digital audit. Jeannie says, I would like the audit, but I think it would be brutal. I'm sure that I'm very wrong by what I do, since I have most of it automated. I have over 3,400 Facebook friends, but I think you would say what on Facebook is not good. Let's take a look. If you want, I mean, you have to be willing to participate. We will have a dialogue, a conversation. we'll have you on the phone so we can talk and give you feedback, but it's up to you if you want to do it. Joe says, enjoy your presentation. Great job, Borino. Thanks, Mr. Joe Razzo. Appreciate it. Vince, and this is important, Vince following up saying, follow-up is probably my biggest weakness. It can be fixed. It can be fixed, Vince. Is it the frequency that's off? Is it the message that's off? Is it the marketing that's off? It's only one of these three things. So take a stock and you can fix it. Okay? Andrew is asking, would you ever leave a book? Leave where? How? What are you talking about, Andrew? Did I miss the first part of your question? Not sure I know what you mean. Tony says, so glad I joined this group. Great job, Borino. Thanks, Tony. Good to have you, man. We do this every week. We have fun. Tatiana, can you repeat the three things, please? Oh, the three follow-up things? Communication, how you come across, how often do you follow up, and the quality of the materials that follow, whether it's mail or email or whatever else. So if I'm on the receiving end, if I get your piece, let's say I get your email, what would be my impression about the content, about the presentation, about the value, how valuable this is? If I talk to you, how would I feel about talking to you? Would I trust you? Would I enjoy our call? Would I enjoy our conversation? Or would I be like, I better get off this goddamn phone. She's wasting my time. Would I even know who you were? Because if your follow-up is too spaced out, people forget. After about 10, 14 days, they have no clue who you are. Don't kid yourself. We all are busy. We're distracted. There is so much going on in our lives. So you got to keep in touch using all the channels. So focus on those. Frequency, quality of the communication, how you communicate with them, because that's really where the magic happens. It's when you talk. When you can ask questions, they ask a question back. That's the interaction. Nobody will ever list your house with them. Nobody will ever list their house with you. Nobody will ever list their house with you over email. Is email important? Sure, it's part of the mix. Just like with all the other channels. But the secret and the magic happens when we have a chance to talk, either in person or on the phone, where we exchange information, where I am very clear who you are and what you're trying to do, and you're clear who I am and how I can help you. Where I am perceived as a solution to your problem. That's what you want to accomplish during the follow-up. Yeah? All right. So that was for Tatiana. Jeannie says, I am more than willing. I have been thinking I need a different direction. Would be happy to help, Jeannie. It's going to be fun. Any recommendations on NL? Don't know what that is. Oh, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, Tatiana. Get the core influence. The core of core influence is based in psychology, hypnosis, and influence. Go to topconfidence.com, order it, or get the whole Success Plus that comes with it. You get a book, you get these cards. Get it. It's really some cool advanced stuff that you can master how you influence people. I use it all the time. I use it with my kids. So it works pretty well. All right. Sharon would like to know, is there a sequence of calls and letters in the Expired Plus system? Yes, it is. Yes. It's a mixture. It's a mix of letters. They get the package, the letters, the postcards, the phone calls. It's all lined up for you. Yeah, absolutely. All right, my friends. 90 minutes, boy, went by like that, didn't it? Really enjoyed chatting with you. Thanks for all the comments. Appreciate you being here today, spending a lovely lunch with me here every Tuesday. I enjoyed this very much, and I enjoyed being able to inspire you and help you with all this good stuff. So, learn some new things? Thanks for being part of the Rockstars. We'll do this next Tuesday again. If you want to do the digital audit with us, shoot a quick email to borino@expiredplus.com, digital audit in the subject line, put your contact info there. Any other questions? Post it right here on Rockstars. That's a great place to be because so many people can chime in and share their answers, their experiences. I'm on it at least once or twice a day. You can always, of course, email or call us. And if you're considering becoming a client and you have some questions, I'm just an email away. Call my staff. Call us 800-573-8492. We'll be happy to talk to you. I appreciate every single one of you. Coach Borino signing off. This was good 90 minutes of Borino Live. And I'll talk to you all next week. For those of you who are in the boot camp, the email with your assignments and the answers and the audit is coming out on Tuesday. So let's see how you did. Our first week in the boot camp. We have a session tomorrow, and I'll see you all next Tuesday. Have a terrific rest of the week. Coach Borino signing off. Let's go get him. Bye, everybody. Thank you.